Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. I never got a chance to really see the 2023s without the cab on here, so unfortunately this is a seized up high output Powerstroke, but this is not a bad thing because Ford took initiative. They actually sent the brand new engine right there, and they want that engine back right here so they can kind of figure out what happened. So that's always a good thing. This is a buyback, so unfortunately the customer that owned it decided they wanted a brand new truck, so they got another Ford F-350. But right now all they've really done was remove the cab from the frame, and I'm just going to kind of show you guys around the truck here. I've always wanted to see, you know, some of the innards of this because you can't really see this when the cab is on. Like, you can see the fuel rails right here, and check out the 10R140. Like, this is a pretty good transmission for the most part here. Transfer case is right there, and you can kind of see that block there too. That's a compacted graphite iron. And I was told too that the CP4 is right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. Let me get some light for you. So yeah, the CP4 is right there. I think this is a gear for it. And then check out some of the suspension too. I never get a chance to climb under the trucks to show that to you guys, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Here's more of those fuel rails on this side. If you want to get a bigger fuel tank, if you got to get a new engine, this is the best time to do it because everything is so easy to get to right now. Now the first thing that I would do also, if I lived in a different state, was take all that crap off right there. All that emission stuff. Now as far as the turbo goes, this is a high output, and they say that this uses a water jacketed turbo, and I believe that that is a coolant line right there that helps to cool that turbocharger. It's really cool that they do that. Your radiator's right here, and it looks like the reservoir for it. But yeah, this is pretty insane to see the truck off of the framing. Really cool stuff. Engineering has gone to new heights. See some of the engine mounts right there. And here's just the other side if you wanted to see the exhaust system a little bit better. Here's the other emission crap you don't like, EGR. And let's go ahead and take a look at the new engine. So here is the new engine. So this is the heads, and these are aluminum, compacted graphite iron block, as I said earlier. So everything's going to pretty much switch over. And this is going to be the front. So you can see this is where the fuel pump's going to go right there. And then here's a valley right there. Actually, they have the new block too. Wow. So they pretty much gave it a whole new heads and block. Pretty interesting that they did that. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm sure all the Ram and GM guys are going to be coming out of the woodwork and talking trash, but you probably shouldn't do that because next year I'm going to try to find more videos like this to do. I love doing videos like this, guys. Like, I really do. Like, this is one of my most favorite things to do. The only thing about it is it's really hard because if you don't know, the shops at dealers are super loud and they play music back there, so it's kind of hard to really do videos like this, and I don't like to actually turn off the music, obviously. So the guy that was working on the truck, he didn't want to be on camera, unfortunately, so he kind of gave me some backstory to what happened. He said he'd gotten a job a little while ago, but they were waiting for the engine, basically the top and bottom, to come in, And truck had about 2,700 miles on it or so. 2023 Ford Super Duty. It was a high output that you guys saw on the side of the truck. I think I showed it on the side of the truck, but it was a high output Powerstroke. And you know, you have to understand something, like that's a brand new engine for 2023 on. So you're gonna have some failures. It's just gonna happen. And unfortunately, what I really wanted to show you guys, which he could not do, was I wanted him to take apart the engine, or I was gonna ask him if he was going to see where it failed at, but he said that because Ford sent him brand new heads and bottom end, he said there's no way he could take it apart without potentially having the claim denied. So he said all he's doing is just swapping everything over to the new engine, the new block and heads, and yeah, that was it. So truck had about, like I said, 2,700 miles. It took him about an hour and a half to take off the cab. So taking off those cabs is not a hard job from what he said. He says probably it took him about an hour and a half. He said probably less than that. He said just for him, he does those types of jobs all the time. And one thing that you need to know, I had no idea about this. They do use new bolts to put the cab back on, so they do not reuse the hardware that they had for the cab on the frame. From start to finish, it took him about 4 days. So he was waiting for the engine to come in, and then he basically was going to be swapping everything over. But what's so cool is, you know, he does that all the time. And one thing I don't really tell you guys, normally what I do is I try to find who the master techs are, and I'll have them do my oil changes. Sometimes if you buy a diesel, and this is a benefit you get, they have diesel techs, and then they have everything else basically. So diesel techs typically are the ones changing the oil. Typically, every dealership is a little different, but the last two dealerships that I was at, the master techs who work on the diesels, they do some of the other like routine maintenance for those types of vehicles too. And that's pretty cool actually. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure if you're getting an oil change, you might have a quick lube guy doing that, but you can always request, you know, a master tech to work on your truck. I mean, hey, if you're spending 90 grand, I want someone who knows what they're doing 100%. And there's nothing wrong with giving gift cards and, you know, really taking care of those guys. That way, when you come in, they know who you are and they'll take good care of you. They'll check the work on the guy that's doing your job. Just keep that in mind. I don't like to do my own oil changes because I hate toting around oil. So that's why I'd rather the dealership do it. But that's why when I go to the dealership, I have someone who knows what they're doing. So I saw in the comment section on my short that someone had mentioned that, you know, that's why we get the standard output Powerstroke. And I'm going to tell you now, the internals of these engines are pretty much the exact same. The only difference is the water jacket, the turbocharger on the high output, the compression is a little bit lower, but at the end of the day, they're about the same. I mean, they just probably turned up the boost a little bit to get that extra horsepower and torque gain that you have on the high output. So unfortunately, when you're looking at first model year engines, it's going to happen. I did a video on the 2019 Ram, or it might have been a 2020 Ram, where the engine basically blew up and it had a hole on the side of the compacted graphite iron block. So yeah, unfortunately, it's just going to happen. And we all know that Cummins is known for reliability. Unfortunately, you know, they were not allowed to take apart that engine. I really wanted to see what happened, like, but obviously Ford wanted the engine back, and so they were not able to break it open. That's the only reason I was going to do the video. Like, I really wanted to see what failed. And hopefully when I go back, hopefully I can ask the tech if he could like find out whether or not they were able to figure out why it failed. Because it would be good to know. And I'm pretty sure if there's any techs in the comment section who might have known what happened, all they said was the engine seized up. And from that point on, they just decided to just give the truck a new engine. And basically that's just the block and the heads. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. I know you're going to have some trolls. People are going to say some negative things. But I'm pretty sure the engine is just one of those things. You know, if you think about all the trucks that they build, how many of them were actually having failures? I mean, you have to ask the question. And again, it's the first model year of this redesign, so you're going to have problems. And I did see some comments about the Cummins thing. I have not had a chance to do any videos on it. Some people texted me, Jared, you're one of the guys that texted me. A couple of the guys did too. I can't remember. I haven't read my text messages in a couple of days, but yeah. Shame on the government. Shame on the government. I think that they're wrong. they should not be going after companies like Cummins. Like Cummins is the biggest manufacturer for diesel engines for semis. Like you're really gonna go after them? Like really? The people who make engines for the trucks that provide our food. Like seriously, and all of our materials. Really. I won't ramble anymore. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon.